Hello, it's Adam Turner, your friendly neighborhood code challenge guy. Uh, I may not have a fancy green backlit office or some sort of video editing team or something, but yeah, these challenges aren't really about me trying to teach anyone anything, by the way, just a disclaimer. I'm just doing this really to help myself in terms of communication skills and being able to verbalize what is going on as I solve a quite complicated thing. Um, in this case, it's not going to be that complicated and it's not going to take that long. But yeah, anyway, my computer screen's here, the camera's over there. So uh, don't feel I'm ignoring you, but I'm not going to look at you for now. Um, so yeah, let's get going. So what we've got is a function called hasUniqueChars. It takes an input string. I've got to determine if that contains only unique characters. And it could be any of the 128 ASCII characters. Um, and we can just consider it's not about letters, it's about characters. So we've got a lowercase a and an uppercase a. They're separate, they're not the same, and they are unique. So what I'll do first is store in scene our chars as we iterate over string. So I'm going to make a mutable variable called scene and just bind it to an empty string first. And I'll finish up by returning scene. And at the moment that would just return um, an empty string. So what I'll do next is initialize this loop and then put my break condition as this, which will, if you know a little bit about programming or JavaScript. This is just the traditional for loop. I think it's based on C. And what we've got is the initializer there. So we're starting at I is 0. That's this variable that we've initialized 0. And then our break condition is this. And then this is our step. So we're going to iterate just by adding 1 to I on each iteration. So I won't go into too much detail about that, but let's just get going. And immediately I'm going to concatenate to scene the character that we're iterating over at that moment in the loop. So what that will do, if I return that, it's just going to return the input. So that's what we've done because we've rebuilt the input there at scene. So that's cool, but that's not what we need. We need to go if scene includes string I. So that's um, good, but it's not good enough. We need to go +1 and then return false. So I'll just jump to the chase there, I'll cut to the chase. Um, we're looping over each character in the input here, and then every time we iterate, every time there's one cycle of the loop, we're concatenating to scene that character that we're looping over at that time. And then immediately after, we're checking, does scene include the adjacent character? So I +1 is the next one up. If it's already in there, when we check that, we've got a duplicate, so we return false. And you've got to think about how this whole thing works here. If scene.includes, that will search scene for a substring, which is this argument here. It's expecting a substring of scene. If it finds a substring, sorry, it'll return true. So if that's true, then this code block runs and I just return false. So I hope that's not too confusing, but that'll find all the ones which are duplicates. So we'll see a few falses now, and we'll see a few containing just the input because we haven't changed that yet. So that is half the challenge done. We know these have duplicates because there's 2 spaces, and we know this last one has duplicates because you've got 2 pluses there. So that's not enough. We've looped over everything, we've rebuilt the string, and on the occasions that we do have a duplicate, it's returned false. So we know those ones aren't unique. But if it doesn't return false, well, it should just return true. Um, because we've looped over everything, we've checked whether they're duplicates. If there's no duplicates and it's never returned false, then it should just return true. And that is the end of the challenge. The first one is false because you've got two spaces. The second one is true. All of those are unique, A, B, C, D, E, F. This is unique. A and A are the same letter, but they're different case, so they're different characters. And this one's got two pluses. So cool. I hope you enjoyed watching that little video, and I enjoy making these every now and then. And I'm going to somehow open the window and turn the fan on now. Thank you. Bye.